Morning everyone, Phil Ellaby from Northern Accountants. I hope you're well. Monday morning, following the announcement last week that we're locked down for another 3 weeks. I kind of figured it's time that we start planning rather than reacting. This lockdown for the next 3 weeks is going to be, as a minimum, it could be longer. I suspect it will be longer. There's talk end of May, beginning of June, there'll be social distancing rules that came. So for now, I think, the last 3 weeks have all been about uncertainty, about how we work, the strategies we communicate with people, with what's actually going on, how will we survive, what support's out there. That's kind of all been, we've settled down now. We're all set up with our IT infrastructure at home where we can. We're all got our communication methods. Zoom's subscription rate's gone through the roof. We've got those sorts of things. We know what support's out there from the government. Is there anything else likely to come? Possibly not, but we're not banking on it. So I think now is the time that we really need to start to plan and take action to understand how we're going to survive through this time and prepare ourselves to thrive when we come out the other side. So what we've done here at Northern Accountants over the weekend is devise the NA action plan, the COVID-19 action plan, which is designed to help you to survive and thrive through this time. So there are 5 stages in it, and I'm going to talk about these in short videos over the week, one a day. Hopefully keep them under 5 minutes so you can watch them over your cup of tea. You might get something out of them, I hope. I'm going to look at 5 stages. So we're going to look at the first stage. I'm going to do that in this video, is what you're entitled to in terms of the government support. It's pretty clear what's available out there now. There's 2 documents attached to this email. There is a 1-page flowchart, and there is also the 19-page document that we produced a couple of weeks ago with some more detail about that. So we'll go into that a little bit later. The second bit, we're going to look at budgeting. So we're going to look at your personal budgets first to understand what your personal cash requirements are, and then we're going to look at the business's cash requirements. There'll be a process which we can go through that and eliminate things that we don't need and priority things that we do. So the next stage 3, will be about planning your cash flow. So again, we're going to plan your personal cash flow first, and then we're going to plan your business cash flow. So you'll notice in both stages 2 and 3, what I've said is that we're going to plan your personal stuff first. And the reason why we're going to do the personal stuff first is because too many business owners like you and me make sacrifices, and we're the last ones on the payment list. And that's wrong. I've said that's wrong for years, and it's even more wrong now. We have got to make sure that our families are safe, that our families are secure, and that we can survive. There's so much pressure being put on me and you as business owners right now to keep the businesses going. The government's expecting us to furlough people, keep jobs open, fund that sort of thing, and basically keep trading in these really difficult economic times. So I know if you're like me, you don't just get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, go to work, sit at your dining room table, finish at 5, and then the world is all good again. You're working all the time. You're working early mornings, you're working late nights, you're working on a weekend just to make sure things survive. And that's why you have to be first, because if you don't do those things, or if you're coming under strain from home, that puts pressure on your ability to operate at full capacity at work, then you're going to put, it's a vicious circle, because the business will suffer and all the good work will go to waste. So absolutely, categorically, you have to be our primary focus in this. So that's why I've said the business thing, people first. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at all the tax planning opportunities that are available. Now, some of these might be small, some of these might be big, but they're probably all the things that we've always meant to do and never really got round to because we just haven't had time. Everybody's busy. You're operating in a working world, and things, little minor changes or R&D or anything like that can always wait because we've got time. Well, now is the time. We need to make sure that we can get as much cash back into the business as possible, or retain as much cash into the business as possible. And then the fifth option, now you understand, the fifth area, sorry, now you understand what's available, what you need, there'll be a gap. Now, if there's a gap, we need to plug that gap through funding. So there's 2 options there as far as I'm concerned. There is the C-bills process, and there is also alternative lending. The C-bills, the banks have come under immense scrutiny about their lending, and having spoken to a number of bank managers, they're a little bit perturbed by the fact that they're just following government directives, and subsequently applications have been rejected because that's what they were told to do, because ultimately the government's backing 80% of this, so you know, it's under immense scrutiny. Now, those have relaxed over the coming weeks. The government has made changes, but the original problem with the CBILS was to do with the government rather than the banks, because you know, what do the banks care? They've got 80% guaranteed by the government, so they've got a good backing on that, so it's probably the most secure loans they're ever going to make. So they've come under a bit of scrutiny. So we've had a number of applications go through. I think there's over £1 million in funds that we've raised through the CBILS. We've spoke to the bank managers. We know what they want for the banks that we operate with. The banks that we haven't operated, we will speak to them, so we're crystal clear on exactly what it is, because the big feedback we're getting from the bank is it's lack of information. We can put that information together with you for no problem at all. If the loan isn't available for CBILS, then we will talk about alternative options. We have NA Money, access to 107 different lenders. We've got various other brokers and specialist areas that again can take us away from the mainstream lending as well. So we have options on the other side. So there's loads of things we can do. So they're the 5 stages that we're going to look at. So we're going to look at what's available, your personal budgets, your personal cash flows, the tax opportunities, and then any funding opportunities that we need. So we'll look at that over the next coming week. So today I just want to talk about the 9 ways that the government are going to support you. I mentioned that there was a PDF attached to this email. I'm just going to quickly run through that so you can see what it is. So the 9 ways that the government's offering to help is the first and foremost is the small business rates relief. Anybody who claims small business rates relief or rural rates relief is entitled to 10 grand. The application process is open, it's simple, the money's being dispatched from central government to local government, it's there, you've just got to make the application. Grants are coming through quickly. We've had ours, it took about 10 days to Leeds and probably took me about 2 minutes to do. So we've produced a blog a couple of weeks ago, which is on our website, which has all the links to all the local authorities, or the link to find the authority which looks after you. The next one is purely for the retail, hospitality and leisure. Again, if you've got a rateable value of less than 51,000, there is a £25,000 grant scheme again. But again, you have to make the application and go through that. The other option you've also got is the business rate payment holiday in the retail and leisure for 2021. So there's some good options there. That I was under the impression originally that was to all businesses, but it's not. It's just onto the retail, leisure and hospitality. So just be aware of that. However, I'm aware that government, the councils will defer 2 payments for April and May and put them on to February and March next year, where you normally have your payment holiday. So they will shift it to the right, which will ease cash flow as well. 4th area is regarding VAT. If you pay VAT and you have a payment due between on the 20th or on the 7th of April, 7th of May or 7th of June, you have the right to cancel your direct debit and retain that cash. You don't have to contact the revenue, you literally just have to cancel your direct debit. And then when it comes to paying your next bill, you just have to reinstate your direct debit. So take action. Don't just think the government won't take it, because they will. It's a direct debit, it will be taken. If they do take it, you can contact your bank and ask them for them to reclaim the direct debit from the government, and they'll do that more or less instantly as well. So, but my advice is save yourself the hassle. The banks are busy. It's hard to get through to them. If you're going to cancel your direct debit, cancel it today. What else have we got? Step 5, time to pay. PAYE, CIS, corporation tax. The government are open to these discussions now. They know that businesses times are hard, and they will provide good payment terms. We're seeing payment terms up to 15 months, making small contributions on a monthly basis. So again, they won't just accept the fact that you're not paying your bills. You have to communicate. Only VAT do you not have to pay, but your PAYE, your CIS, you need to put it on in your corporation tax. You need to contact them to put on a plan. Self-assessments that are due in July, payments that are due, you can defer that again. Just don't make the payment, no interest will be levied on it, there'll be no penalties. In terms for your employees, if they're off sick and it's due to COVID-19, they get full statutory sick pay from day one. They don't have any waiting days. And then finally, of course, the furlough scheme. So today the furlough portal opens. So we are looking extensively at that. But basically, if you haven't got any work for your team to do, you can furlough them. There is a process. You do need to send in paperwork. There's a process to send that in to us. That's all been communicated in the past. It's on our website if you need to know what that is. But again, use the furlough scheme, and the portals are open today, and payments expected to start to filter through on the 30th, from the 30th. So there's that. And then, like I say, you've got the loan scheme. So that's just a simple 9 things I think you've got to consider to make sure you've ticked all the boxes and got the most out of the support that you can get. So I will be back later. I'm going to record all these videos today, and then it'll just be distributed because I don't want to bombard your inbox. So thank you very much. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you.